In a cozy cottage nestled at the edge of a sunlit meadow, there lived a young boy named Benny. Benny was a curious and imaginative child who had a deep love for nature, especially butterflies. He would spend his days exploring the meadow, chasing after colorful butterflies with his butterfly net, and reading books about these delicate creatures. One bright morning, as Benny was chasing butterflies with his net in hand, he spotted a group of them dancing among the wildflowers. Their wings shimmered like stained glass, and their delicate beauty left Benny in awe. He longed to create a special place where butterflies could thrive and bring joy to everyone who visited. With determination in his heart, Benny decided to create a butterfly garden. He envisioned a place filled with vibrant flowers, fragrant herbs, and plenty of nectar to attract butterflies of all kinds. He knew that the garden would require hard work and patience, but he was willing to put in the effort. Benny enlisted the help of his grandmother, Granny Rose, who had a green thumb and a deep love for gardening. Together, they started to transform a corner of the meadow into a butterfly paradise. They planted a variety of wildflowers, including bright zinnias, tall sunflowers, and sweet-smelling lavender. Granny Rose taught Benny the importance of caring for the garden with love and attention. They watered the plants, weeded the flower beds, and provided a safe haven for butterflies to lay their eggs. Benny learned about the life cycle of butterflies, from tiny eggs to caterpillars and chrysalises, and eventually into beautiful adults. As the days turned into weeks and then months, the garden began to flourish. Flowers bloomed in a riot of colors, and butterflies of all shapes and sizes filled the air. Benny was overjoyed to see his dream come to life, and the garden became a place of wonder and magic. Word of Benny's butterfly garden spread throughout the village, and people from near and far came to visit. They marveled at the beauty of the garden and the butterflies that called it home. Benny took on the role of a young guide, teaching visitors about the different butterfly species and their incredible journeys. One sunny afternoon, as Benny was tending to the garden, a rare and exquisite butterfly landed on his outstretched hand. Its wings were a tapestry of iridescent blues and greens, and Benny knew it was a special visitor. He named it Sky and watched in wonder as it fluttered away, leaving behind a feeling of enchantment. As the years passed, Benny's butterfly garden continued to thrive, and Benny himself grew into a young man with a deep appreciation for nature. He became a biologist, dedicated to the study and conservation of butterflies, ensuring that they would always have a place to flourish in the meadow he loved. And so, in the meadow where Benny's cottage stood, the legend of Benny and the butterfly garden lived on, a story of a young boy's passion, the bond between generations, and the beauty of creating a haven for nature's most delicate and enchanting creatures. But the legacy of Benny's butterfly garden continued to inspire all who visited, reminding them of the wonders of nature and the magic that could be found in a garden filled with love and dedication. As Benny grew older, his butterfly garden became not only a sanctuary for these delicate creatures, but also a place of learning and wonder. He decided to share his passion with the children of the village, just as his grandmother had shared her gardening knowledge with him. Benny started hosting weekly butterfly workshops in his garden. Children from the village eagerly gathered to learn about butterflies, their life cycles, and the importance of preserving their natural habitats. Benny's enthusiasm and gentle teaching style made learning a joy, and soon, the children began to develop their own love for these beautiful insects. One summer, Benny organized a special event called Butterfly Day in the meadow. Families from the village came with their children to celebrate the beauty of butterflies. Benny set up butterfly observation stations, where children could carefully catch and release butterflies, all while learning about their characteristics and habits. There were educational displays showcasing the life cycle of butterflies, from egg to caterpillar to chrysalis and finally to the adult stage. Children marveled at the intricate patterns on the butterfly's wings and the incredible diversity of species that could be found in Benny's garden. Throughout the day, Benny and the children released dozens of butterflies into the garden. It was a magical sight as the colorful creatures took flight, fluttering from flower to flower, and filling the meadow with their grace and beauty. It was a celebration of nature's wonders, and Benny couldn't have been happier. Over the years, the Butterfly Day event became a beloved tradition in the village, eagerly anticipated by young and old alike. Families would bring picnic baskets and spend the entire day in the meadow, surrounded by the enchanting world of butterflies. Benny's butterfly garden had not only become a sanctuary for butterflies, but also a place of community, education, and inspiration. Benny's dream had truly come to life, and he knew that he was making a positive impact on the lives of the children and the entire village. As Benny watched the children release butterflies into the garden, he couldn't help but think of Sky, the rare and exquisite butterfly that had once visited him. He knew that Sky's visit had been a sign of the magic that could be found in the natural world and the power of following one's passion. And so, in the meadow where Benny's cottage stood, the legend of Benny and the butterfly garden continued to thrive, a story of a young man's dedication, the joy of sharing knowledge, and the beauty of creating a place where both butterflies and people could flourish. But the legacy of Benny's butterfly garden continued to inspire generations to come, reminding them of the wonder and magic that could be found in the natural world and the joy of nurturing a passion for the beauty of butterflies. As the years went by, Benny's butterfly garden continued to flourish and evolve. It became a place not only for butterflies, but for various other pollinators like bees and hummingbirds. The garden was a haven for biodiversity, filled with a symphony of colors and the sweet scent of blooming flowers. Benny's reputation as a butterfly expert spread far and wide. He was invited to speak at conferences, write articles for nature magazines, and even appeared on television programs dedicated to the wonders of the natural world. His knowledge and passion for butterflies were admired by people from all walks of life. But what Benny cherished most were the interactions with the children who visited his garden. He continued to host workshops and educational programs, inspiring countless young minds to appreciate the beauty of nature and the importance of conservation. One day, a young girl named Emma visited Benny's butterfly garden. She had heard about Benny's passion for butterflies and his dedication to conservation. Emma was deeply moved by what she saw and learned in the garden. She knew she wanted to follow in Benny's footsteps and become a butterfly advocate herself. Emma approached Benny and asked if she could become his apprentice. Benny was delighted by her enthusiasm and agreed to mentor her. He taught Emma everything he knew about butterflies, from their anatomy and behavior to the importance of preserving their habitats. Under Benny's guidance, Emma became a skilled butterfly conservationist. She helped monitor butterfly populations, plant native flowers to attract pollinators, and educate the community about the importance of protecting these delicate creatures. As Benny grew older, he decided that it was time to pass the responsibility of the butterfly garden to the next generation. He officially handed over the garden to Emma, who was now a young woman with a deep love for butterflies and a commitment to their conservation. Benny watched with pride as Emma continued his legacy, and he knew that the garden was in capable hands. He had not only created a haven for butterflies, but had also nurtured a new generation of conservationists who would carry on his work. In his retirement, Benny spent his days sitting in the garden he had lovingly created, watching the butterflies flutter by. He felt a deep sense of contentment, knowing that he had made a lasting impact on the world and that the legacy of his butterfly garden would continue for generations to come. And so, in the meadow where Benny's cottage stood, the legend of Benny and the butterfly garden lived on, a story of passion, mentorship, and the enduring cycle of nature, where one generation inspires the next to protect the beauty of the natural world. But the legacy of Benny's butterfly garden continued to thrive, reminding all who visited of the importance of preserving the delicate creatures and ecosystems that make our world a more beautiful and vibrant place.